A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Sunny, but a little bit on the chilly side. Running below average for this time of the year as far as our low overnight, and it does appear as though as we move into the evening hours tonight, we're going to be looking at some pretty chilly as well. 24 degrees at the airport, 24 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 25. Downtown Bay City is at 24. We do have a northwest wind at 14. So, yeah, it is cold out there. Wind chill currently at 12 degrees. Reason why? Barometric pressure rising, 30.24. There is a high pressure system over the Chicago area that is going to be moving into Ohio as we go through the nighttime hours and during the early morning hours tomorrow morning. So for the most part, it's going to keep us on the partly sunny to mostly sunny conditions during the day today, as well as tomorrow. A few clouds around as we move into late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. The reason why is because that high is going to be moving into Ohio and then eventually down into West Virginia. So it's going to increase the clouds late tomorrow night and into the day on Thursday because it's going to begin to drag some of that Gulf air up into the Ohio River Valley and then eventually here in Michigan. Because as we take a look at the temperatures, not so much tomorrow. It is going to warm up rather nicely. But on Thursday, we're going to be looking at temperatures approaching 50 degrees if we don't come close to it on Wednesday afternoon, because we are, as I said, going to have mostly sunny skies. Couple of low pressure systems generating weather conditions on both coasts. One of them a nor'easter, which is kind of unusual for this time of the year. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. But when it does, they do get some major amounts of snow in the New England states. And as we mentioned yesterday, we're going to be looking at snow depths of over a foot in a number of areas in the New England states, as well as in New York State. Off on the West Coast, another system moving on shore there, giving those folks more rain. And it's going to exacerbate the flooding activity out in that part of the country. Still, they've caught up with quite a bit of moisture over the past several weeks, but things are beginning to change just a little, not much. The amount of precipitation out of these systems isn't quite as great as what it had been, but still more on top of more on top of more. The cumulative effect obviously is creating some major issues. A lot of the retention areas in California are pretty close, if not overfilling. So there is a little bit of runoff occurring in some spots where they were less than 25% of capacity. Now they are at or above 100% capacity. So in a nutshell, sun as the day goes on today, we should work our way up close to 33 degrees. I think maybe 35 later this afternoon. A low tonight of 18. Sun will set this evening at 7:41. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:49. So you kind of get the idea. We're approaching the spring equinox, not too far off. Matter of fact, that's going to be the 20th, which is next Monday. Tomorrow, 44 degrees for a high, sunshine. Clouds will be on the increase late. Again, that high pressure is going to be over southern Ohio, and it's going to be moving into West Virginia as we approach and get into Thursday. After a high of 44 tomorrow, we'll only drop down to about 34 for a low. Average for this time of the year is 41 in the afternoon and 25 at night. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how chilly it was yesterday and how chilly it is today. Then on Thursday, some folks are going to definitely hit 50 degrees. The southern third of the lower peninsula, we're going to see a lot of 50s on Thursday. I think for us in the Great Lakes Bay area, we'll come close. I think we're going to make it, but mostly cloudy skies on Thursday. And then late Thursday evening is when we're going to have a chance of seeing some moisture move into the state. And it's going to continue on again and off again early Friday morning and during the day on Friday. Again, as I said, on again, off again. The heaviest amount of precipitation out of this system is going to be areas to the south of Michigan, the Tennessee Valley, Kentucky, those areas. They're going to get harder hit with more rain. Also, a little bit more rain in Indiana and Ohio. We're not going to have as much, but I think starting late Thursday night through the day on Friday, we'll more than likely be taking a look at about an inch of precipitation altogether. Maybe a few of you will pick up a little bit more than that. Saturday, whatever moisture there is out of this system as it moves away from us and the temperatures begin to drop, it's going to turn into snow. So Saturday looks like we're going to have a pretty good chance of seeing some snow squalls, flurries. 32 for a high on Saturday, 26 for a low on Saturday night. Then on Sunday and Monday, pretty much uneventful. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies both days, upper 30s to low 40s during that period of time. Long range outlook to take us through the 27th of the month is no big warm up. It's just going to be temperatures a whole lot closer to average for this time of the year. As we move into the final weekend of the month of March, we will see an increase in our precipitation tallies. 45 is what we were looking at a year ago today, 28 for a low. We had no precipitation a year ago on this date. Incidentally, on this date last year, we had a total of about 2 3/4 inches of precipitation, whether it be snow or whether it be rain. This year, so far, as of today, here in the Great Lakes Bay Area, we've had more than 5.5 inches of precipitation. So obviously, what was very dry last year and continued to be below average on the moisture, we've just about doubled the amount of precipitation that we've had so far through the 13th of March than where we were a year ago. What's average for this time of the year as far as snow is concerned is right around 46 to 48 inches on average. Currently out at the airport, we're at 43.4 inches. So this will be the first year in probably about 2-3 years that we've come close to what our average should be for a winter season. A year ago today, 3.5 inches of snow. Well, I should say on this date, March the 14th, 3.5 inches of snow is the record, 3.6. That record was set way back in 1918, so we haven't had anything close to that record since then. Record high in this state set back in 2012, which was an exceptionally warm and dry year. The record high was 78 on this day. The record low, 3, set in 1993. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. We'll take a look at the market, see what's going on there. But before we do all that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment. If you ever wondered why the Farm All got its name, Farm All, well, there's tons and tons of reasons. Anywhere from baling, feeding, fertilizing, mixing feed, chopping, seeding, clearing, furrowing, cultivating, hitching, digging, emergency towing, and there's been some of that this year, harrowing, hoisting, excavating, grading, leading parades. Yeah, there will be a lot of that coming up. The Case IH Farmall tractor can do it all. Anywhere from 35 to 140 horsepower, that's what they feature. And Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth has got them. They'll show you how getting the job done right starts with choosing the right Farmall. Anywhere from the Value Pack Compact Farmall A Series to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. They've got them. They can get them for you. This tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. Take a look at them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Doug Klein, good morning. How we doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. I really didn't see much of a change from yesterday to today as far as the commodities go. The wheat seems to be kicking along pretty good.
A little dead cat bounce, maybe.
Yeah. What about the rest of it?
And like you said, not much really going on. I just checked lumber a few minutes ago and trading around 342 to 350. And so I took a look at the charts, and that's kind of sort of the low for the 1 year period. And so I took a look at the 5 year charts, and it's kind of sort of where it traded at between 2018 and 2020 before it went on this crazy wild ride with all the free Biden money that came from COVID and all that stuff. So interesting to see, and kind of wondering in the back of my mind whether all that euphoria from the last 2 years comes crashing down in a bigger way than just down to normal, where it comes down to, oh my God, I can't go negative, can it? Remember what crude oil did years ago. So.
Yeah. No. I'm just kind of curious, kind of getting off the subject, but this announcement about the Alaskan drilling.
Yeah.
The way I looked at it was, how many years is it going to take before they're actually going to produce out of where they're talking? And I would think there's plenty of fields up there that are already primed and ready to go. So why even mess with what they're talking about?
Kind of sort of makes me think it's politics and game playing. It's like the tax increases that Biden was talking about. He knows dang well that the Republicans are not going to let the capital gains tax rate go to 44%. And that would be devastating, especially to farmers and things like that, long-term family businesses and things like that. And he's going to just lay it on the Republicans. See, I tried to balance the budget, but the Republicans wouldn't let me do it. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't going to go. I'm so sick of the politics, but
and that's the shame of it all. That's what we're having to deal with and been dealing with now for quite a while.
I love that bank failure. I mean, $6 billion asset management business gets shuffled off to HSBC for $1.26 total. And then JP Morgan gets the other $36 billion worth of assets in the banks that the shareholders used to have 2 days ago or a week ago.
Yeah.
Free. Here, JP Morgan, here, Jamie Dimon, take this $36 billion asset. And JP Morgan, by the way, had a $300 price target on that stock Thursday. They got it for free Monday.
Sure.
Give me a break.
Wow.
Anyway, way off subject. Here's your numbers. The May corn is 6.20 3/4, up 7 1/4. The December corn is 5.60, up 2 3/4. The May soybeans 14.89, down 2 1/4. November soybeans 13.37 down 1 3/4. May wheat 6.97 3/4, up 13 1/4, and December wheat 7.33 up 11 cents. Crude oil 74.30, down 50 cents. Heating oil is 278.47, up 2 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 260.48, that's up 1 1/4 cents. So that kind of sort of puts us somewhere around 3 1/4 on the retail side. So we're still a little high, but getting there. And then natural gas is 269.5, that's down 3 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3664 Canadian, that's down 60 ticks. The dollar buys 134.38 yen, that's up 120 ticks. The euro's at 107.24, that's down 5 ticks. The dollar's at 103.69, that's up 10 ticks. Gold is at $19.10.10. That's down $6.40. Silver's $22.03, still up a dime. And platinum's at $995.40. That's down $9.50.
So not quite as big of a drop as what it was yesterday, but platinum is still working its way down. What did you say that wholesale gas was right
gas at $2.60.
now? Okay.
3.25.
3.25.
Yeah.
Yep. Give or take.
Give or take.
Yep.
Take more than you give.
Evidently. That's what they're doing.
Right.
Doug, you have a good one, all right?
Yep.
All right. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. As far as our markets are concerned, how all of this affects the cash paying prices. Over to Breckenridge we go at MAC, where the white wheat is up 11, 645. The red wheat up a dime at 610. The new crop up a dime, 706 for the white wheat, 636 for the red. Corn is up 6 at 575. The new crop up 2 at 499. Soybeans at MAC right now down 6 at 1450, with the new crop down 4 at 1275. Dairy and cattle producers, with input prices at all-time highs, it is time to get serious about maximizing profits using contract sales and risk management tools. So register now for the Ag Profit Strategies Workshop. That's going on right now at Zender's Restaurant in Frankenmuth. So for more information on this event, you can go to nationalfarmers.com/agprofit. Along with me, Chuck Lipstrew with the Michigan Agribusiness Association. Chuck, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, Terry, good.
Staying busy from what I understand. You got a lot of things coming up, but you also had kind of a busy last week. Tell us a little bit about the grain grading seminar.
Well, look, for many years, MABA and the industry partnered to help provide training, continuing education for those that are receiving grain around the state. It's something that we've brought back and tried to ramp up over the last couple of years, and we were pleased to have around about 80 folks from our member grain handlers last week over at the Agro Liquid Conference Center there in St. John's to get an update from FGIS grain inspectors and trainers on how to best go about evaluating grain. And Terry, this is important because we want to be sure that we have these biggest standards for a reason, and a standardized grain grading system in the U.S. for a reason. And it's important to our member companies to be sure that their folks are trained up and have the latest knowledge to be able to evaluate grain that's being delivered. So we use this opportunity. It's a little bit of the end of the meeting season and a time when folks have a little bit more opportunity to do some continuing education and training. So we were able to bring some experts in from around the Midwest to train our Michigan industry and to do a little refresher.
How unusual is it for an organization like this, like yours, to put on something like that? Is this something that happens in a lot of other states?
Terry, it happens across the, as we call them, the high states and over into the plains, some of the major grain producing states. This is one of those baseline continuing education things that we think, and our member companies certainly agree, based on the participation last week, is important to focus on. It can be a kind of a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but the grain standards are incredibly important. It's important that they're applied in a predictable fashion. And so when you've got, say, new folks coming into your company, or maybe some people that have been there to use a refresher, it's important to be able to offer that continuing education. And it happens around the Midwest, and it's something we've really tried to focus on making sure we bring back to Michigan.
One thing that doesn't really have to do with this, but something that has been in the news a lot, and you and I haven't had a chance to really talk too much about it, is something maybe we want to cover in future programs, and that is in regards to the rail system here in Michigan. It seems as though rail now is headline news because of different things that have happened over the past 30 days or so. What is the health right now in your thoughts as far as the health of the rail here in Michigan?
I'll give you two answers, Terry. The first is our local short line rail carriers that are that last mile for many of our industry participants have done the best they can to communicate to their customers and to have a strong working relationship. These are by and large local companies that have a local representative. It's no secret that the rail companies have had big challenges retaining people and hiring, and they also have serious infrastructure challenges with track and siding and some other things, especially in rural areas. But the short line carriers have done a good job here the last 2 or 3 years during an unprecedented time. The bigger problem, Terry, and this is a whole program in the future, is the challenges with the big Class 1 carriers. These are the national, international level rail carriers that continue to struggle to provide basic customer service to grain handlers and others in the industry. This has been reflected in frustration at the federal level. We saw the first ever or first in a while hearing of the U.S. Surface Transportation Board last year focused on the shortfalls of the Class 1 rail carriers. These are big companies. They need to figure out how to hire and get more people on the job, and they have to do a better job with customer service. And that's reflected across the country, and what you hear from national industry as well. But happy to talk more about our challenges with the big Class 1 carriers in the future as well, Terry.
That sounds great, Chuck. We really appreciate your time and your input. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Chuck Lipstrew, president of the Michigan Agribusiness Association. Jerry Samolsky, Craig Voorhees, even a look at the New York markets, all of that coming up.
Healthy crops require healthy soil. Genuine earth metal blades, cultivator sweeps, coulters, and openers from New Holland help you manage residue, improve soil tilth, and place seeds into a consistent furrow. Available at Ellen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City, genuine New Holland earth metal parts are stronger, tougher, and built to last. For more information, visit Ellen's Equipment today.
Farm Service brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors. Give them a call or go online, 800-234-3280, or go to steinertractor.com. Jerry Samolsky, good morning.
Good morning, Terry. Can you hear them?
I can hear them.
The weeds, they're coming. I can hear them from here.
Wow.
So within the landscape, a little bit different than some of the farmers, but within the landscape, the perennial crop that's there all the time, we want to make sure we get that pre-emergent in early. And you never want to fertilize on frozen ground, but as long as it doesn't wash away, earlier you can get that pre-emergent in the ground, the better off you are. So those weeds that come that are just ready to go first thing in the spring, we can get them. So as soon as the snow gets away, as soon as the beds are open, let's get some pre-emergent down in those flower beds and we'll be in good shape.
Sounds good. Jerry, have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir. Keep the weeds away.
Oh, I will.
Attention car and truck shoppers. Are you looking for the best offer around? At Cook Chevrolet and Vassar, Silverado shoppers have 2 great offers. Right now, leases on a loaded Silverado, including heated seats and even heated steering wheel, start as low as $391 a month. Do you prefer to own your truck? Did you know that with rates as low as 0%, you can save as much as $10,000? That's better than any rebate ever offered on a pickup. And right now at Cook Chevrolet, you can lease an Equinox as low as $220 a month, and that's phenomenal. Get out to Cook Chevrolet, M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar, where you'll find loads of Blazers, Equinoxes, Silverados, and even more.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year and includes all rebates. $2,780 on Equinox, $3,050 on Silverado due at signing. Call or visit us online at our new web address, cookchevysuperstore.com. That's cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Got an event coming up? Here's a telephone number for you to make your job a whole lot easier when it comes to supplying the food. 989-894-5531. Krejak's House, also a great place to dine in. Reserve your table for Easter. Corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Let's take a look at the New York markets with Steve Anderson over at Baird. Steve, good morning.
And good morning and happy Pi Day to you, sir.
Happy Pi Day to you. What's going on?
Well, we've got a market doing very well. I like the inflation data today. So Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 418 points, putting it at 32,237. Volumes 425 million shares. NASDAQ is ahead by 261. putting it 11,451, and volume there is 420 million shares. Locally, we've got green all the way. Caterpillar 227.16 up 246. Deere 403.17 up 495. CMS 60.35 up 81. Dow 53.49 up 109. DuPont 71.02 up 177. Corteva is 59.32 up 70. GM 36.25 up 49. Trinzio 21.33 up 123. Walmart 137.71 up 35. Huntington Banks 11.90 up 78. Independent Bank 18.77 up 37, and AT&T is ahead by 13 cents at 18.43. I apologize, don't know where that 10 handle came from on Independent Bank.
Boy, I'm glad you corrected that. Woo, had me scared for a minute.
Absolutely.
Take care, Steve.
Yeah,
Have a
didn't
good
mean
one.
to.
All righty.
I will. You do the same. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Had a question a little bit earlier from someone asking me about traveling up north. They might have a problem getting into their cabin. Might be a really good idea to call ahead because some areas do have better than a foot of snow in the woods right now. So might be a good idea to check, although rain is in the forecast for the entire Lower Peninsula and a good part of the Upper Peninsula. Maybe it'll wash her down just a little bit. But again, call ahead might be a really good idea. Farm Service brought to you by Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The government says consumer prices rose last month, and they were up 6% over a year earlier. Mark Hamrick of Bankrate.com says the inflation information is a key ingredient for the Fed.
The Federal Reserve has a needle to thread. Consistent with its mandate for state